Hey, shalom brothers, shalom sisters, Bishop Nathaniel here. That's right, you know what day it is. It's Shout Out Tuesday. It is Shout Out Tuesday, and I pray you brothers and sisters join me every Tuesday afternoon on IUIC Events channel, where I will be reading your kind and inspirational letters, also thanking you for your kind donations, and also covering very important biblical information for the mental well-being of our 12 tribes. That's right, 12 tribes worldwide. So hope to see you then every Tuesday afternoon on IUIC Events. Shalom.
I want the nation bowing down to me and make them crown the king. Glorious sound to me, released like Jubilee. The end of poverty, angelic body me. If I leave my throne, you gonna see a different side of me. This prophecy, prophecy, this prophecy, prophecy, this prophecy, this prophecy. Ultra pure gold, gonna approach the throne. Way up, way up, way up to the ceiling. I can't fight this feeling. If your eyes on the kingdom, we got common interests. We've been down so long, oppressing in our members. Twinkling of an eye, now watch us fly like Delta engines. Man, we beneficial when these laws, they benefit you. I got so much channel aggression towards any law official that say we not the people or any artificial that conjured up an image that is contrary to the scriptures. On the beat like polished brass, lightning bolts coming from his visage. You can approach the throne, but not until I extend the golden scepter. That's right, stay in line. Watch me handle mine.
So, how y'all doing? So, do y'all understand that y'all Israelites? Y'all understand that? Are you know for a fact you're an Israelite?
Oh, yeah.
Brother Anthony, that's correct? Yes. You know for a fact you're an Israelite now. You've been here for a minute, so you should know by now. Yeah. What about you, bro? Oh, yeah. You know for a fact you're an Israelite. So, we all know we Israelites now, right? Right. So, and we all understand how we got to this situation, correct? How is that, sis? How did we get to this situation we in right now as Israelites?
Right out.
If you don't know, just say it. Ain't nothing wrong with not knowing.
I mean, I know you sounded like putting me on the spot.
I'll pray. I'm gonna put him on the spot then. Brother Anthony, how did we get here as Israelites? How did we get to this position right now? I got you something. I'm gonna learn you something then, still. I'm gonna learn you something. What about you, Anthony? You don't know? What about you?
The slave ship.
The slave ship. But how did we get on the slave ships? How did we get there?
Actually, the rumor has it that our own people were tricked into selling us.
Okay, but yeah. I got you.
Yeah.
Go back to Deuteronomy 28, read 15. I'm gonna show you one more time. How do we get to this situation where we in? Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass.
The Israelites, it shall come to pass, read.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Now what does that mean?
That means you're not listening to the word of God.
There you go, you're not listening, right?
Right, and then it's back to what y'all said about not keeping the commandments.
There you go, that's the answer I wanted right there. Because we not keeping God's commandments.
Right.
That's how we got in the situation we in. That's how we got on the slave ships, because we not keeping God's commandment. Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12 now. I just wanted to show y'all that. I want y'all to remember that. Right. Remember that. We not keeping God's commandments. That's how we in the situation we in. That's why we in the bottom of the earth.
Right.
If we was on top, we wouldn't have to worry about all that. We wouldn't have to worry about the bills.
Right.
Our feet hurting, our joints hurting. We wouldn't have to worry about none of that.
Right.
But why we got to worry about that? Because we not keeping God's commandments. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 12. Yeah. And now Israel.
Now we know we Israel. Now it said, now Israel, read.
What does the Lord thy God require of thee?
He said, what does God require? Now before I finish it, what does God require? That's what I'm talking about. Read on.
But to fear the Lord thy God.
You gotta fear God. If you fear God, you'll do what he say, correct? Yeah. If you fear God, you'll do what he say, correct? Read.
To walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God.
I said, and to love him and to serve him. Now, we all say we love God, correct? It's easy to say we love him, but how do we love him? Because you go give God a hug?
Yeah. That's loving you.
How? You said loving him and loving me?
Yeah.
You own to something. I'm gonna show you. Watch this. Hold it. Go to 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3 and verse 2. Yeah. No, 5 and 2. My bad. 5 and 2.
The book of 1 John chapter 5 verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God.
It said, by this we know we love the children of God. Read.
When we love God and keep his commandments.
So when we love God and keep his commandments, how we love the children of God. Right? Read.
Verse 3. For this is the love of God.
And this is the love of God. Because you was right. You said by loving each other, we love God. That was the last verse just said. But read on.
That we keep his commandments.
So to love God is to do what?
Love
each other. Do what?
Keep his commandments.
That's right. Read on. And watch this. Watch this.
And his commandments are not grievous.
It said, and their commandments are not grievous. What does that mean, Brother Anthony? The commandments are not grievous. What does it mean?
They're not hard to keep.
There you go. They not hard.
Right.
They not hard. God's commandments are not hard. Go back to Deuteronomy 10 and 12 and finish it out. So the requirements of God is, you said it, but I'm going to let the scripture finish it. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord.
It says to keep the commandments. That's what God requires from us.
Right.
Now watch what else he's going to say. Watch this. It's going to get heavy.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, for thy good.
For what?
Thy good.
God said to keep his commandments is for thy good.
Right.
How is that for our good? How is keeping God's commandments for our good?
Right. Bring it out.
It keeps the temple safe.
Keep it what?
Your temple safe.
You own to something. You own to something. You know a little something.
Right.
He said to keep our temple safe.
Right.
We the temple, yes. So God's commandments keep our temple safe.
Right.
I'm gonna give you something that's gonna keep the temple safe. What's your favorite food to eat?
I like spaghetti.
Spaghetti. Okay, what you put your spaghetti? You put hot dogs in spaghetti?
No.
Oh, okay. My grandma put you some hot dogs in spaghetti.
My grandmother did.
So you like spaghetti? What about you, Brother Anthony?
Macaroni.
Macaroni. Okay, what about you?
I like several foods, but I just I better go with a pasta.
A pasta. He said you better go. What about you? You like all three of them. What kind of meats y'all eat?
I like
what kind of meats y'all eat?
Chicken strips.
Chicken strips.
I'm not really a big meat eater.
You're not a big meat eater. So you don't eat bacon?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Somebody go with a hamburger.
Hamburger? You eat bacon on your hamburger?
Yeah.
What about you?
I told you, chicken strips all day.
Chicken strips all day. You just eat chicken. That's it. You a chicken man. I'll pray. Give me Leviticus chapter 11. So, we're going over keeping our temples clean or keeping it right.
Right.
That's for our good, right? So let's go over some commandments to keep our temple clean. Watch this, read it.
Right up.
The book of Leviticus chapter 11 verse 7.
Right up.
And the swine, though he divide the hoof.
It said, in the swine. In the swine. What's a swine, sis? My sister. What's her name again?
Linda.
Linda. What's a swine?
Swine.
What is a swine? They said in the swine. The Bible talking about the swine right now.
I know that.
So what's a swine?
I know that.
You know it.
Yeah.
It's all right. Let me see if Anthony can help you out.
You know.
What's a swine?
Pig.
A pig.
That's right.
All right. A swine is a pig. So you got that, bro? A swine is a pig, right? So what did God say about this swine? Watch this read.
Though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed.
So he said he divided him and be cloven footed. Watch this.
Yet he cheweth not to cud.
Why he say yet he should not to cud?
It means that he's not, he doesn't eat grass.
Right, he don't eat grass and then his body don't digest.
He would eat anything.
Right.
Even you. He
right.
you.
Right. What did God say about that? Watch this. Read.
Right.
He is unclean to you.
What did God say? Sister Linda. What God say the swine is? A pig. Watch this.
He is unclean to you.
He said he is what?
I didn't hear y'all.
Listen, sis. Watch this. It's important. Watch this, read.
He is unclean to you.
Now, what did God say the pig is? He is unclean to you, the Israelites.
Right.
The pork, the bacon, All that is unclean. God said it's unclean. Watch what else it says. Watch this.
Of their flesh.
Watch it. It said of their flesh. Read.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
It said of the flesh you should not eat.
Right.
So the God said don't eat the pig.
Right.
Don't eat the bacon.
Right.
Don't eat the pork chops.
Right.
The chitlins.
Right.
The cracklings. The skins. God said don't eat it. What else?
Verse 9. These shall ye eat of all. Of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch.
God said don't even touch it.
Right.
Don't touch it. So that means, say for instance, if y'all all start applying this commandment today, right? If you start applying it, say, I'm done eating the bacon. I'm done eating the pork, right? And you go to a store. Let's say you go to a Whataburger, McDonald's somewhere, right? And you be like, give me a cheeseburger. That's what you like, right? Cheeseburger. You say, don't put no bacon on it though. No bacon, right? And you get it, open up with some bacon on there. God say what?
And their carcass shall ye not touch.
You don't supposed to touch it.
Right.
So what's supposed to happen to that whole hamburger?
Throw it away.
Throw it away.
Or give it back.
Throw it away because God said don't touch it. That means it shouldn't touch your other food neither.
Right.
Because if it get in there, it's defiled.
It's
Right.
Your hamburger defiled now if bacon touch it.
Right.
So you can't eat it. God said don't touch that thing. You got that? So now we in Natchez. We close by the water. What else y'all eat in the water? What y'all eat in the water, Sister Linda?
I like fish.
Fish. What kind of fish you eat?
I like white perch,
White perch,
bread,
brims. What else?
catfish.
Catfish.
I know that ain't good.
How you know it ain't good? How you know it ain't good? How you know?
Because a catfish is like a woman.
A catfish is just like a woman. Wow, you said something heavy. You said something heavy.
It has administration.
Right, you're right. It does. It does. A catfish is not like other fish.
Right.
But what about you, Anthony? What kind of stuff in the water you eat? You like shrimp?
Yeah, crawfish.
Crawfish. What about you?
I eat a little. I like fried shrimp.
Fried shrimp?
That's it, though. I mean, I eat a little bit of.
So you eat a little bit. What about you, bro? You eat all of it. You eat everything that's in the water. Everything that come out the water, you eat it. It don't matter what it is. All right, let's see. We're going to stay in the same chapter. We're going over laws. We're going over commandments that we must keep to love God and to take care of our temple. Watch this, read.
Verse 9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters.
It said, these shall you eat. That's all in the waters, right? Read.
Whatsoever have fins and scales.
It said, whatever got fins and scales you can eat. Now, let me ask you, brother right here in the round. Does a catfish have fins and scales? It don't, right? Does a shrimp have fins and scales? They crawl, right? They don't swim. They don't even have scales neither.
Right.
What about a crab?
Same thing.
Same thing, right?
And they eat dead, all this.
Yeah, they eat all the boo-boo that's in the water.
All
Right.
everything that die, all of that.
Right. So what? Now God said, but you gotta eat what got fins and scales. So we just eliminated a lot that don't have fins and scales.
Right.
What did God say about them? Watch this.
In the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And all that have not fins and scales.
And all that don't have fins and scales. Read.
In the seas and in the rivers of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters. They
said any living thing that's in the water. You said you eat everything that come out the water. It said all these things that don't have fins and scales that's in the water. Hold on, you got to get the last one, sis. You got to get the last one. Hold on.
They shall be an abomination unto you.
It said they shall be an abomination
That's right.
to you.
Right
What
out.
is abomination?
Right out.
It's like, I guess it's like destroy yourself.
It's like
Destroy yourself. Something bad, right? It's horrible.
Right.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
God said it shall be an abomination unto you. Read on.
Verse 12. Verse 11. They shall be an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcass in abomination.
He said it twice. He said you shouldn't eat their flesh, and it should be an abomination. He said it 2 times.
Right.
It's gonna be an abomination, meaning we shouldn't mess with it.
Right.
God said don't eat it, and that's how we get sick.
Right.
Say what now? I can't hear you, bro. Come on, deal with us, bro. I can't hear you from over here. Come deal with me. Okay. But God said we shouldn't eat it, so it caused sickness to us.
Right.
Like it caused cancer.
Right.
Pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, all that stuff called cancer. If you eat too many shrimps at one time, eat too many shrimp at one time, you get iodine poison.
Right.
If you eat too many of them at one time. But guess what? By you eating it slowly, you still slowly killing yourself.
Right.
Majority of it is bread.
Yeah. But you, God say these are the ones that we cannot eat.
Right.
We got meat that we can eat, but we go on the ones that we can't eat right now.
Right.
These are the ones we love the most.
Right.
Right? Now watch this. Go to Deuteronomy 28 verse 61. So
Right
the
out.
reason why we get sick is because we're not keeping these commandments.
Right.
We get illnesses because we're not keeping it. My sister right here, Sister Linda. Do you know anybody that suffer from cancer?
Yeah, my cancer is running my family real bad.
It runs in your family. So cancer runs in your family. Guess what else runs in your family? Not keeping God's commandments. That's what runs in your family. That's a generational curse. Because y'all, nobody, your forefathers didn't teach your other foreparents and foremothers to keep God's commandments. They didn't teach them that pork is bad, shrimp is bad. So it caused that sickness. Watch this, read it.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 61. Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law.
You're not going to find cancer or iodine poison in the Bible. So it says all these sicknesses that's not written in the law, read.
Them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
He said he's going to bring upon us for not keeping God's commandments until we are destroyed.
Right.
Destroyed, meaning died, killed. So God put that upon us. So God said the shrimp and the crab and all that is an abomination.
Right.
Catfish is an abomination.
Right.
He don't like it. He hate it. But guess what else he says is abomination? It's for you, sis. It's a commandment for you. Watch this. So you probably didn't know. You probably know because you're an aged woman. Because your grandmother probably told you this. But watch this.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
What article of clothes pertains to men?
Miss Kendra, she knows she is right.
Miss Kendra, I'm going to ask you then. What article of clothing pertains to men? You said it. She said it. She said it. What you say? You agree? And so it's pants. So pants pertain to men.
Right.
So read that from the top again.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
Read.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Now what's a woman's garment? A dress. Dress. Head wrap, all that stuff, right? That's a woman's garment. Read.
For all that do so.
So for women that wear pants and men that wear dresses, all they do, so watch this.
Are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
God said they the same way he feel about shrimp, crab, lobster, and catfish.
Right.
So a woman that put on pants, God said they just like catfish. They just like shrimp. Just like crawfish.
Right.
They are abomination.
Right.
And so as the man that put on dresses.
Right.
So do you want to be abomination to God?
But
Give me
when,
that,
but
Isaiah.
when we die,
Abomination.
he's gonna call all us up.
But when you
When
die,
we all die, like the people that's already dead, they got to get up out of the way.
so what about while you living, still living?
You got to keep yourself right with God.
Right. So I'm gonna ask you this again.
But
Give me one
ones
slide.
that's already gone and people think that they gone to heaven already, they ain't gone to heaven.
So what they gotta do with the question I
They gotta
just asked you
stand
though?
up.
What they gotta do with the question I just
It's
asked you?
dealing with the same
I asked you a question. I asked you a question about you.
But it's dealing with
I
the
said,
same
do you want to be the abomination towards God? You don't, right? What about you, sis?
Of course not.
You don't want to be abomination to God. Now watch how God feel about abomination. Watch this.
The book of Sirach chapter 15 verse 13. The Lord hateth all abomination.
What? The Lord what?
Hateth all abomination.
I thought God loved everybody.
Bring it out.
I thought God loved everybody.
I still say he loves everybody.
What did God say?
The Lord hateth all abomination.
So he hates something. He hates something.
Right.
He hates abomination. So he just said that if anybody defile their temple or cross-dress, they're abomination. So he hate them too.
Right.
Correct? You with me, bro? Anthony, you with me?
Oh, yeah.
So it means your daughter, the daughter you got at home, or where was she at? I don't know if she's grown or she's young. But God said if she wear pants, she's abomination. And how does he feel about abominations? He hated it.
Right.
So you don't want God to hate your daughter. You don't want God to hate you. You want God to love you like you're supposed to love him.
Right.
Right? So the only way God will love you if you love him. But how do you love him again?
Bring it up.
How do you love God?
Keeping his commandments.
Keeping his commandments.
Right.
So God will love you back if you keep his commandments.
Bring it up.
Let me show you that. Give me Psalms 5:5.
Bring it up.
Let me show you that. So God said he hate abominations. That's one thing he hate. Let's see what else he hated. Read.
The book of Psalms, chapter 5, verse 5. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity.
God said he hate all workers of iniquity.
Right.
So that right there, them two scriptures just squash that God love everybody and everything.
Right.
Read it again. Read it again.
Psalms chapter 5, verse 5.
Bring it up.
The foolish shall not stand in thy sight.
So he said the foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Read.
Thou hatest all workers of iniquity.
He said God hated all workers of iniquity. What is iniquity?
Bring it up.
Wrongdoing.
Wrongdoing. What you say, sis? You looking like what in the world? What is y'all reading? That's how you looking right now.
Bring it up.
Well,
Bring it up.
What is iniquity?
I don't know.
It's sin.
Right.
Iniquity is sin.
Right.
God said he hated. He said he hate the workers of sin.
Right.
Because what's the churches say, oh no, God hates the sin, not the sinner.
Right.
But this Bible just said that God hates the workers of sin.
Right.
Everything you right. That, especially these churches that set up in America, ain't nothing good enough.
Right.
Ain't nothing good enough. Give me first John. Let's show them what sin is now. Let's see what sin is. Let's confirm it, what sin is.
Right.
Watch this, read.
1 John chapter 3, verse 4.
Bring it up.
Whosoever committeth sin.
Whosoever commits sin, whosoever, because we love that word in the other scriptures. Whosoever commits sin, read.
Transgressive also the law.
Transgress God's laws, read.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
Sin is the transgression of God's law.
Right.
Sin is a transgression of God's laws. So God hate that, right? He hate the workers of iniquity.
Right.
He hate the workers of sin. So you don't want God to hate you. In order for God to not hate you, what you got to do again?
Get right with him.
Get right with him by doing what?
Keeping yourself right with him.
And by doing what?
Right by his people.
You come give me the answer I gave you earlier. What do you got to do?
Quit sinning.
Quit sinning. That's a good answer. All praise. So
Right.
how do you quit sinning?
Do the right thing. Walk in the light of God.
It's one word I'm looking for. It starts with a C. It starts with a C. You got to keep God's commandments.
That's right.
You got to keep God's commandments. So I gave you a commandment about the past, right? What you in right now is not godly. That is not godly. So they got to change if you want God to love you.
You also say cover yourself up.
You right. Let me show you what he said in the New Testament too. Watch this.
Bring it up.
Give me that. 1 Timothy.
The book of 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9.
Bring it up.
In like manner also, that women adorn themselves
Cover themselves
in modest apparel.
in modest apparel. You gotta be modest when you are covered.
Right.
So you gotta make sure you're modest. Them tights ain't modest.
Right.
That ain't modest, sis. That is not modest.
Right.
You said, yeah, God said cover yourself, but he said cover yourself in modesty.
Right.
And that ain't modest. That ain't modest, sis. So you got that. I'm gonna read it again for you. Read it again.
I got it.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 9.
Bring it up.
In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
He said modest apparel.
Right.
You gotta be modest, sis. Now watch, I'm gonna give you one for the. I gotta get on the men right now. Give me first Corinthians 11.
Bring it up.
Now, I gotta get on y'all now. Cause guess what? If y'all don't get right, they ain't gonna get right.
Right.
They not. The women is not gonna follow if we ain't doing what we gotta do.
Right.
Watch this. Read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3.
Bring it up.
But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Head of every man is Christ. Read.
And the head of the woman is the man.
That's why I said what I said. We the head of the woman.
Right.
So we got to lead the women. Right. So that's the order that God put up. Read it. Read on.
And the head of Christ is God.
So we got God, Christ, man, woman. That's the order that God put up. Read on.
Every man praying or prophesying.
So every man that's praying or in the midst of prophecy, right now, like we all are out here, we're in the midst of prophecy because we come out of the Bible. Read.
Having his head covered.
The man that don't have his head covered when he's in the midst of prophecy.
Dishonoreth his head.
Who is the head of the man? Who's the head of the man?
Christ.
Christ. So it means if you got your physical head covered while you listen to the Bible, read the Bible, or praying, you dishonor Christ.
Right.
So you too. What y'all gonna do now?
Yeah, I got a bad cut though.
You got a what?
My cut ain't
God don't care about that.
Right.
He don't care about it. He wants you to honor him. That's all he wants.
Right.
And you did good. You repented. Give
Right.
him a clap. Anthony, what you gonna do, Anthony? You next. What you gonna do?
What Bible you read for me first?
Come on, Ant.
Bring it out.
Hey, I got the same one.
Bring it out.
It's the same Bible.
Yeah.
It's the same Bible.
Bring it out.
Right.
Yeah, he got tape on here. That's all. It was a tape.
Bring it out.
Take it out, Anthony.
Bring it out.
So that wool. There we go. There we go. Don't be ashamed of that wool, bro. Don't be ashamed of that.
That's right.
I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna show you something. Watch this. Read on.
But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered dishonoreth her head.
But I mean, a woman should have their head covered. So right now you doing that.
Right.
So you correct right now. Right here, my sis too. She correct. They on point now. Right. Now watch this. Go to Daniel 9-7, 7-9. Daniel 7-9.
Bring it out.
So I say don't be ashamed of that woolly hair, bro. And this is why. This is why I say don't be ashamed of that woolly hair. Nobody out here should be ashamed of their wool. Watch this.
Right.
Read.
The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9.
Bring it out.
I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit.
Ancient of Days. Who is that? Anthony, who is that? Ancient of Days. That means somebody that's before time.
Right.
So who's before? Who the only being that's before time? God.
Right.
He the only person that's before time. That's why he called the Ancient of Days.
Right.
Read.
Whose garment was white as snow.
He had an all white garment on. It was bad. All white garment. Meaning what? He had a what? If he had on clothes, he had a what?
Bring it out.
He had a body.
Right.
He had a body. Watch this.
And the hair of his head.
And he had a head too, but he had hair on it. And the hair of his head was what?
Like the pure wool.
Like the pure wool.
That's right.
So you don't be ashamed of that woolly hair.
Right.
Wear your afro.
Right.
Don't be ashamed of that because you're looking like God right now.
That's
with
right.
that afro.
That's right.
God got an afro and his people got an afro.
Right.
So don't be ashamed of that.
Right.
Don't be ashamed of what God gave you.
Right.
Don't be ashamed of your skin neither. So now, back on y'all. Leviticus 21:5. So this is something that y'all I see y'all doing. And it's easy to do. Watch this. Leviticus 21:5.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 21, verse 5.
Bring it out.
They shall not make baldness upon their head.
Listen, you shouldn't make baldness upon your head. Don't shave your head off. Read.
Neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard.
You shouldn't shave your beard. I see both of y'all got you growing it. You growing it. Yeah, you got it. You growing it. You got it. How hard is it to let it grow?
Not hard at all.
Not hard at all.
So I'm saying itching and all that.
It itches because you shaved it before.
Right.
That's why it itches.
Right.
You shaved it off and it start growing curly up on your skin and you get the bumps.
Right.
It don't supposed to be cut.
Right.
It's supposed to just grow. Let it grow.
Right. Bring it out.
God made you that way for a reason. He made you that way. What two people on earth that don't have a beard? What two people on earth that don't have beards?
Asians.
No, what people?
Oh, people?
Yes.
Somebody that's a race.
It don't matter what race. What people on earth that don't have beards?
Female.
Females and what? Kids.
That's right.
Females and kids. You said some women got full beards? That's beyond me.
Right.
That's beyond me. But we're talking about majority of women don't have beards.
Right.
And kids, no child got no beard.
Right.
So back in slavery, when the slave man said, shave your beard off, or they shaved it for you. They forced you to shave it.
Right.
What they call you after that?
Bald head.
Nope, they can start with a B. Another B word. Nope. Boy.
That's right.
They call you boy when they shave your beard off.
Okay.
Come here, boy.
Yeah.
Come here, boy.
Yeah.
Cause what? Boys don't have beards.
Right.
But men do.
Right.
Men got beards. And you gotta be men to stand up strong.
Right.
How do you actually be a man according to the Bible? How do you actually be a man? Watch this. 1 Kings, watch this. This is how you be an actual man. Because we not taught to be men in America.
Right.
We taught to be niggas and boys. That's it. Watch this.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 2, verse 2.
Right.
I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore.
He said, be strong, therefore. Read.
And show thyself a man.
He said, show yourself a man. How? Watch this.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God. To walk in his ways. To keep his statutes and his commandments.
That's how you be a man. To walk in all of God's ways, all of his statutes and his judgments. That's how you be a man.
Right.
So you gotta start keeping the commandments, learn the commandments, keep the commandments, and be a man.
Right.
One of the commandments I just gave y'all, beards. That's a commandment. Keep it, not hard. Not have your head covered when the scriptures coming out. Not hard. Wearing fringes. Look at everybody in purple. Look at everybody in purple. Look around. We all got fringes on. I'm gonna read it to you. You got a question?
No, I'm just saying, making a statement. I had grew this beard like really good. Everybody was hollering, "Oh, you got a beard!" And like they wanted me to stay boys.
But you did it though. It looked like it. You said you had a beard. You had a big beard. So you cut it because you fell for what they were saying.
Yeah.
Because you weren't truly had knowledge of what God wants you to look like.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation